Hey folks, and welcome to this weekly update of Azure news from myself, Sarah Lean. This episode was recorded on the 4th of October 2024. There continues to be a lot of retirements announced, so let's cover some of them. So the first retirement is of the Azure Orbital ground station, which is retiring on the 18th of December with no new authorisations for stations after the 28th of October. Now, the Azure Orbital ground stations were a fully managed service offered by Microsoft that enabled customers to communicate with and control their satellite systems without needing to invest in ground station infrastructure. So for those using them right now, be sure to look at the off-ramp plans available for you. Now, the next retirement is of Azure Spring Apps on the 31st of March 2028. Now, Azure Spring Apps is a fully managed service for running Java Spring applications jointly built by Microsoft and VMware by Broadcom. However, that service is now being retired, and it's been retired in two phases. So, on the 30th of September 2024, standard consumption and dedicated plans will enter into a 6-month sunset period and will be retired on the 31st of March 2025. In mid-March 2025, all other Azure Spring App plans, including Basic, Standard and Enterprise, will enter a 3-year sunset period and will be retired on March 31st, 2028. The recommendation here is to look at migrating to Azure Container Apps, which are available right now if you want to start that planning. Now, Azure Automation State Configuration will be retired on the 30th of September 2027. Azure Automation State Configuration is an Azure service based on PowerShell Desired State Configuration, or DSC, and it's probably one of the earliest services actually that I remember using, but as I say, it's retiring in 2027 and Azure Machine Configuration is taking its place, and you can start that transition now if you wish. Now, a public preview announcement I wanted to highlight is the Azure Virtual Network Monitoring IP Address Management. This enhancement is designed to streamline and optimise your IP address management, providing you with greater control and efficiency. With Azure Virtual Network Monitoring IP Address Management, you can easily manage your IP addresses and usage and ensure seamless network operations. Also in public preview is a synthetic data generator and simulator within the Azure AI Studio, and this will help developers understand how their application responds to everyday user prompts. Now, moving on to a generally available announcement is that Azure Business Continuity Centre is now generally available. And this is a management centre that helps you to simplify your disaster and backup across your environment. So if you have an Azure only environment, you can use this to help manage your Azure backup and Azure Site Recovery configurations. But also if you have a hybrid environment and you're using Azure Backup and Azure Site Recovery to manage that environment, then again, the Azure Business Continuity Centre, or ABCC, can help you with that management overview. So it's definitely worth having a look at. And as far as I understand, there's no prerequisites to be able to use it, and there's no additional costs either. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and please don't forget to leave me a review, share this podcast, and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. And I'll see you all again soon.